Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Maryann Petri. You can find me, my books, and blogs on dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. The book Dismantling Family Court Corruption, Why Taking the Kids Was Not Enough, came out in 2020, followed by Cry Out for Justice, Poems of Truth. Then Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children, another bestseller, followed by Raised by These Wolves, Volume 2, Child Trafficking Through the Foster Care and Court Systems, which came out mid-July as a bestseller. Feel free to buy me a coffee to help keep this podcast going. I have a return guest. I'm very happy to have Kia Walker on, also known as Grandma Kia on TikTok. And she has been on season 5, episodes 77, 112, and 120. I'm so glad to have you on, Kia. How are things going and what does life look for you today?
Marianne, I am so exhausted.
Mhm.
My life is hectic, it's surreal, it's um, painful. Um, so I'll backtrack a little bit. So I'm currently, my son is in prison
Mhm.
since 2014, in connection with um, a murder that happened. His then girlfriend, Heather Mack,
Mhm.
two of them were found guilty of unaliving her mom and stuffing her in a suitcase.
Mhm.
And so the pain and the complete trauma that I went through, and I'm still going through,
Oh, yes.
surrounding the murder of Sheila Van Weiss.
Mhm.
Well, Sheila Van Weiss. Um, and uh, and then my granddaughter coming to America for the first time when she was 6 years old, and the custody battle. You know, here I am trying to get guardianship of my granddaughter, and millionaires and
Mhm.
uh, strangers petitioning for guardianship, and me being a pro se litigant.
Oh,
There
yeah.
being at least at least 10 to 15 lawyers filing documents,
Mhm. Mhm.
and me having to respond, and just the number of sleepless nights, and not being able to eat,
Right.
just being completely exhausted.
Mhm.
um and being on a watch list, the government watch list, because I've spoken up for my granddaughter in her high profile guardianship case.
How did you
Um,
find that out?
it's very obvious. Not only can I relate to other TikTokers who are talking about gang stalking, who are talking about um, just being harassed to the extreme
Mhm.
levels.
Mhm.
Me being followed. One time I was on the train, and this guy gets off the train. He looks into the window at me, and he goes like this,
Oh, that's creepy.
like, I see you. And he has the squiggly white wire, you know.
Uh-huh.
Um, Two black SUVs with tinted windows pulling up at the same time with the rush right towards me, and
Mm.
stops right there and says, "Yep, that's her." And they keep on going. Um,
Oh.
a couple of times, I was downtown Chicago, and this person walks past me, and I noticed that it was very suspicious. And he continues to walk, and I look away.
Mhm.
And then maybe 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes later, I look back and he's looking at me in the bushes. You know what I mean? Um, Sometimes they make themselves known and sometimes not.
Mhm.
Um, Being at the grocery store and a guy here peeks out from behind
Mm.
and looks at me and then turns away. Like make sure he has eye contact with me.
Right.
Walk away. So it's just, I mean, the incident just continues to happen. I'm barred from getting an attorney.
Mm.
Like, like I've reached out for numerous attorneys, at least 300, 350, no exaggeration.
Yeah.
And first they tell me, okay, sure, we're interested in taking your case. The next day, within 24 to 48 hours, they backpedal, you know,
Mhm.
or they'll want to know who's on the case.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so they'll communicate with other lawyers or whatever, and then
Oh,
they,
yeah.
so I mean, but it happens every single time. And then um, I've been messaged on TikTok many times um, by people who are who have ill intentions. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, knowing that they're not who they say they are. Kind of like I'm
Mm.
very like I'm on high alert, right?
Right.
So I'll see what they want. You know what I mean? And I'll talk to them about things, and they're under the impression that they're the only ones who know the information that
Mm.
I told them, It's like, I don't know, it's like I don't know why I do this. I don't know if it's for me to make sure,
Mm.
you know? And so I play along with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I do the same thing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the PTSD and you want to trust, but then you don't, but then you do, but you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I'm so glad you can relate to what I'm
Yeah.
saying. A lot of people can't.
Mm.
And then, being traumatized, having PTSD
Mhm.
from, the murder, from, the custody battle, and, from the police officers, you know, and from the court, just the complete trauma,
Mhm.
betrayal trauma, um, yeah, situational trauma. I
Right.
mean, just trauma, and then to being made out to be like this crazy woman.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy.
No.
I'm not crazy. I know what's happening.
Mhm.
I'm saying
Mhm.
this isn't something I've made up. Oh, they're following me. Oh, I'm paranoid. No, it's real. And then being gang stalked.
Mhm.
Getting back to um, blowing the car horn and
Right.
being yanked out of my car and my cell phone snatched because I was recording at the time. And
Right. And that was season 5, episode 120, where you may be facing 7 years in prison for honking your car horn.
yes,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, no, please do because I can go off a little bit.
No, you were doing
Yeah.
fine. And then I go and interrupt you, and I'm sorry.
No, no, just being like right now, I'm in court. I'm falsely accused of aggravated battery,
Mhm.
resisting arrest, um, blowing my car horn, improper use of a horn, um, just and then being re-traumatized in court because my public defender is bullying me.
Oh, they do. Yeah, you're not the only one. I've talked to another mom. Ugh, go go on.
I mean, to the extreme.
Mm.
So as far as that incident, the officer who yanked me out of my vehicle, um, when we got to the police station, he told me several times, I'm going to beat you and drag you,
Mm.
right? Well, my public defender waited until after 60 days when those video recordings were recorded over
Oh,
and no longer available to ask for the evidence. He waited until there wasn't any evidence, you know? So I don't have the proof of that. You know what I mean?
mhm,
But I gave him a whole list of evidence that would be helpful. A whole list. Body cams, you know,
mhm, mhm,
body cams when we arrived at the jail.
mhm.
He will not help me with any evidence that he has all the control over. Evidence that I can't get through a Freedom of Information Act. And then just the bullying to the extreme, you
Mhm.
know, and me asking the judge if I can have a new public defender and her telling me repeatedly, no, you have to work with him.
Ah,
And being re-traumatized over and over and over again.
definitely. Well, yeah, they'll take a victim and re-victimize the victim over and over.
It is sickening. So, and some might say to me, I can't believe you're still standing.
Mhm, mm,
Well, that's because I'm driven.
mhm.
You can't break me. I've come close, especially in family court. A
Mm.
complete nightmare when I get an email from the guardian ad litem saying, Ms. Walker, we're very concerned about Stella. We don't know where she is, where she's staying, or if she's even coming back. In the middle of a high profile guardianship case,
Oh,
just to find out she was living with Lisa Liu, who is now Lisa Brennan, because she married Peter Brennan, Hulu TV.
mhm,
My granddaughter was living with billionaires in California.
mm,
Peter Brennan and Lisa Brennan
mm.
in the middle of a guardianship case.
Ah, only in
You know,
California.
right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it's just yeah, just reminding myself, self-care, you know, take care of myself. I have nothing to offer anyone else unless I
Yeah.
take care of myself,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I'm
So,
glad you brought that up because people seem to just keep going and going, and they get really, really exhausted, and then they're really in a predicament.
oh yeah. And then I get going back to the being arrested for blowing my car horn and, trying to get all this evidence, um, the level of corruption and the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department,
Mhm.
being bullied and, you know, just gaslighted, they're complete gaslighting me. And then they're sending me evidence from the state's attorney is sending me evidence that's been altered. The speed of the video has been altered.
Oh,
They've You can't see the date and time of some of the videos that are altered. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
To fit their narrative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the same state, which is, Illinois, is the same state that slung my granddaughter around like a rag doll in a high profile case. Is the same state that excluded me and alienated me as grandma.
Mhm.
That's who I am up against
Mm.
in this arrest for blowing my car horn.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The same
Mhm.
state, the same corrupt Illinois. And then, so I have all these injuries to my shoulders and my leg, both of my legs. And
Mhm.
I'm trying to get help at the hospital, and the security is following me around
Oh,
and they're denying it. And then the hospital is denying it. Now, that's disruptive to my life.
right. And another form of gang stalking.
Yes, my sense of security,
Mhm, mhm.
you know? And then my character is being damaged because they want to say, "Oh, I'm just crazy."
Oh.
I'm just, she has mental illness, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I guess we all do. They call us all crazy.
This isn't really happening. She has mental illness.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
terrible.
Yeah. And then being in Illinois, where it's a two-party state. Oh, you can't record what's happening unless you ask them. Can I record you gaslighting me? Can I
Right.
record you following me? Can I record you gang stalking me?
And taking you out of your car?
Yes,
Mm,
yes. Illinois, I mean, all states in America,
mm,
all countries, corruption, right? Illinois is so corrupt.
mm.
And with this two-way state saying you can't film or record what's happening to you either. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can't have any proof of it. We're
And
gonna make your life a living hell.
and you can't get their body cam footage.
They give you what they want to give you.
Mm.
Some of the body cam footage I got from this arrest from my blowing my horn. Uh, they redacted anything that would be helpful to me,
No.
and what they wanted me to see is my pants half down
Ugh.
from them yanking me out of the car. So they didn't redact
Oh,
my butt.
yeah,
They didn't redact that. Just a total disregard for human life,
right,
just
right.
from just for being a human being.
Mhm.
But what's really so painful as well is, not being able to find an attorney. Who is there an attorney that could reach out to me, that could really, truly, out of the kindness of their heart, help in any way with these false arrests?
Mhm. Like
Is there
a criminal lawyer, right?
a criminal lawyer? Is there an attorney that could help me in Colorado, with guardianship?
Mhm.
I've got all the evidence I need. I
Mhm.
did all the work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do all the work and they don't wanna get involved. That's what I have found even with my own case.
They don't want to get involved.
Yeah. It's like, "Well, don't you wanna make some money?" No, and so wrong. I don't know. I don't know what to say because 'cause you've got a lot on your plate. I mean, you're worrying about your son and his health in prison in another country.
Yes, my son is in Bali, Indonesia,
Mhm.
um, and his health is failing. And so I emailed the U.S. consulate and I asked, can the U.S. government provide clean water? The answer was no.
Huh.
So I've been buying bottled water, but it has gasoline in it. So my son says, there's gasoline in this water. I could
Oh,
smell it so bad. I said, gasoline. So I Googled it. In Indonesia, they put gasoline in their water.
oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So,
Jeez, that's pathetic.
yeah. And yeah, there's just so much, so
Mm.
much, you know. And then just the feeling I can't trust anyone, really. I just, I mean, I have the trust issues are so huge. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people want to be part of this sick and twisted murder. You know, they want to be able to say, I had this person reach out to me on TikTok, and she was like, don't you remember me? And we used to, you came over my house and we hung out or something, and we're friends. I'm like, no, 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 I don't.
Wow.
you know
It's funny. Well, not funny you should say that, but when I was working in a fabric store during all my hell of family court and child support court, I'm here trying to cut fabric, I'm already scattered, because I'm stressed out. And a woman approaches from the side saying, "Hey, remember me from high school?" And it's like, she said her name, and it's like, you don't even look like her. And she says, "Well, and I didn't even say that, but I said, okay, and I'm trying to concentrate. And she says, "Hey, let's go out to lunch, And then she said, and I'm so stupid. She said, "What's your phone number?" So I gave her my number. But anyone can find my number. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But then she just went away. I'm going, who the hell was that?
Yes,
A
exactly.
gang stalker.
Yes. There's I remember I was waiting for the train in Chicago, and this Indian guy comes up to me, well dressed. He's not wearing a suit, but you can tell he has a nice watch on. He's clean cut. He asked me if he could use my phone, my cell phone,
Hmm.
and so of course I'm high alert, because I've got people following me, and so I give in and I said, you can use it, but I have to hold it. And I put it on speaker.
Right.
Well, just a minute or two later, because he was like, I have to reach my friend. I'm trying to meet him downtown and I don't have my phone on me. So I let him make this phone call. And then his friend comes and I kind of jogged my memory, and they are undercover. They were undercover cops.
Uh,
Undercover. So it's just like,
yeah, it's like, what did they want? Yeah. Or just surveillance.
they wanted to make the connection. This is her. This is her phone number. They want to know that they're following the right person, and they have proof.
Hmm.
You know, like being going back and forth to the court for the arrest, and
Hmm.
someone will reach out, and want to help, like just advocate for me. They're not lawyers or anything, but they just want to just be present. Like a sense of comfort knowing that someone is there.
Hmm.
They're working for the court.
Uh,
They're working for the court.
oh.
They're working for the court.
It's like, there's no peace in your life.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, we were talking, at our age, we don't have any peace in our lives. It's like, I know, like we should be going into the golden years or whatever you want to call it, right? And there's no
To
peace.
be able to just, okay, relax.
Right.
We have our adult kids now. This is the next phase of our lives. No,
Hmm.
no. The nightmare will not end.
Agreed.
And just to know that, this is life now. And then to feel, going back a little bit, feeling threatened, my life and my health threatened because I can't go to the hospital without being gang stalked.
Right. Right.
Without the doctor. The doctor is minimizing my injuries
Mm.
from the police yanking me out of the car. They're altering their reports.
Hmm.
You know, they're denying my injuries, and
Have you,
I'm still in pain.
right. Have you gone to get a second opinion?
I've gone to 3 doctors: Swedish American Hospital, Belvedere
Um,
Hospital, and OSF, which is St. Anthony's Hospital, and
mhm.
they're all doing the same thing: gang stalking. They
Maybe
left me
you're
in that
flagged.
what did you say?
Maybe you're flagged.
I am.
Yep.
That's why I said I'm on the watch list. They
Oh,
left me. They left me in that MRI machine for an hour and like 20 minutes.
oh,
I was burning. My skin was burning. I was crying.
oh,
They gave me X-rays of my arms and my legs, and they leave the machine on me. So now I've got, throughout my entire body, it feels like a hot ash,
oh,
tiny hot ash is like, you know, on my arm or on my back or on my legs, like excruciating pain, like, you know how a mosquito bites you, but
hmm.
10 times worse. And so I find myself,
Oh,
ah,
yeah. Yeah.
and it has to be from all that radiation,
Hmm. Oh,
you know. And the
wow.
thing about it is their expressions and the way they torture me is the same.
Mm.
Like when I first come in, oh, hi, hi. And then moments later it's bullying. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Uh,
really weird.
yeah. Talking down to you.
Yes, talking down to me. Like when I was in that machine, I'm like, I tried, squeezing the ball that you gave me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those Before that, everything was she was halfway decent. And when I told her I would try squeezing the ball so that she could stop the machine, she goes, "No, you didn't." Just like that.
Oh,
No, no, you didn't.
uh,
You didn't do that. I would have heard you.
oh, see,
It's
yeah.
not, you know.
Oh,
I locked up my belongings, and she wheelchaired me into the room to get my belongings, and the locker was open. I said, "Someone opened my locker," and she goes, "No one opened your locker. No one did."
uh,
Just that,
that's weird.
I don't know how to explain it, but their expressions are all the same. I go to the YMCA and they're like harassing me, and it's like, I'm just trying to swim. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like complete strangers out of nowhere. You know,
Right.
it's so crazy. Like I've never had to work this hard to live, to breathe.
Hmm.
Never. The next day, not that it was promised to me, but the next day, it just came.
Hmm. Hmm.
It wasn't like today. It's not, you know, people would say, "Oh, tomorrow's a new day." No, not for
It,
us.
it's like the same day. It's like Groundhog Day. Yeah. Unless people have gone through this stuff, they don't get it.
You don't get it. I make a police report on the gang stalking at the hospital, And
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking them, I asked them, okay, so when will I hear back? Because they came to my house, so I made a report. They said, well, the investigator will call you. Well, 2 days later, I get this call, and they introduced themselves as the division of the police station. We would like to know if you're interested in mental help. What did you say? Like, who are you? Like,
Right.
what are you talking about?
Right.
And they explained that they are a department within the police station that uh, they've been asked to reach out to me to see if I was interested in getting some mental help. You know,
Oh, brother.
yeah, as if this stuff isn't real. You know, if you say you're traumatized, then they can hold it against you.
Right.
Hold it
Right.
against you.
They do.
Oh, she has mental illness, just like the cop who yanked me out of my car. I know you have mental illness,
Mm.
and it's like I'm not crazy, but
No.
they want to twist it around. Oh, you have mental illness. You were
Yep.
traumatized. You were traumatized when you saw your son on the news being arrested and accused of killing a woman and stuffing her in a suitcase.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So life is crazy.
Yeah. It's not fair.
I'm so grateful that um, I'm comfortable with being alone,
Uh-huh.
even though there are times where, I've always been a social butterfly before
Mm-hmm.
all of this, but I'm comfortable with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm comfortable living alone, but it would be nice to have friends you can trust,
True. True.
friends that aren't trying to, profit in some way, fashion, or form because you're in a high profile case.
Mm-hmm.
I want,
Mm-hmm.
you know what would be so helpful to me, Maryann, if there's anyone out there involved in a high profile case, a high profile murder case,
Mm-hmm.
a high profile guardianship case, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So,
Yeah, I hope you can get some relief because this has gone on for so long.
and just life, I like the reason why I'm asking, if you're involved in a high profile case, reach out to me is because not that other cases aren't important, but that level,
Right.
that added level of distrust is huge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is.
I'm not minimizing you, Maryann, or anyone else who's just, who's not in a high profile case, but shows all the signs of everything I've talked about. I'm not, saying that that's less important. No. I'm just saying I need to identify with someone with that added trauma, just
Mm-hmm.
an additional
Yeah.
nightmare.
Someone you can relate to.
Yeah, in all aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. It's just so difficult.
Yeah. And then I've got, Heaven Mac, who is again my then son's girlfriend. They're not together,
Mm-hmm.
but they were both, found guilty in connection with murdering her mom and stuffing her in a suitcase. Um, Heather Mack's cousin, Lisa Hellman, has my granddaughter. And she won't let me speak to my granddaughter. And you know, just going through, and she won't let me play Roblox with my granddaughter. You know, she doesn't want any interaction with my granddaughter, you know. And in court, she said, because we're in court, and she was a petitioner. She that's a whole nother. I'm not going to even get into that. That's a whole nother story because she was pretending like she was an observer, but she was actually a petitioner. So she was hidden and on the Zoom, you know.
Ah,
Um, but uh, yeah, so it's you know she's not. She said in court when I was testifying, I was asked would I allow Lisa Hellman to have a communication with my granddaughter. I said sure. You know she's family. You know
mm-mm.
my granddaughter deserves to know her family. But
Right.
when she was when I cross-examined her, Lisa Hellman, she goes, no. If I get guardianship, I'm changing Stella's name,
Mm.
changing her last name, and Tommy, Heather, and Miss Walker, Grandma Kia, will
Uh-huh.
not be able to communicate with her. I said, if I get guardianship, I I will let you communicate with Stella. I mean, you're
Mm-mm.
her family, but if you get guardianship, I can never talk to her again. And she says, that's right. I said, why? She goes, because it was your son who put his hands around my aunt's neck and murdered her. And so to this day,
Mm.
she won't let me have, communication with my granddaughter. And
Oh,
this is the same family that I reached out to when my granddaughter was in prison. Because my granddaughter is 9 years old now.
oh.
She spent the first 2 years of her life in prison in Indonesia
Mm-hmm.
with her parents, my son and Heather Mack. So, yeah, I don't want to change the subject, but man,
Mm.
poor grandbaby, poor grand.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not fair. If you're willing to let the other side have a relationship, that's pretty bad when they dig their heels in and won't let you, and what the judge went along with it. The judge didn't see any problem with that.
Not at all. Matter of fact, like on my TikTok, I talk a lot about, Lisa Hellman's adult son. He was like 24 at the time, maybe he's 25 or 26, sleeping in the basement with my granddaughter. You know, court
Mm.
didn't care. This was all about the guardianship court was all about finding the money trail, the trust fund involved.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the US government's way of saying, we're sorry what happened to Sheila Von Weiss,
Mm.
but here's Grandma Kia's granddaughter. You can have Stella, you
Yeah.
know?
How terrible. Terrible.
So
And heartbreaking. Because it's like I always loved being around my grandmother.
I know. And my granddaughter loves me. We get
Mm-hmm.
along so well. We play, we laugh, we talk. I've always been involved in her life, always. And now she's with her other side of the family who wanted nothing to do with her.
Yeah. And you don't know what they're telling her.
Exactly. Who wanted nothing to do with her. Didn't know what she looked like, never spoke to her until she was 6 years old and she landed in America and petitioned for guardianship.
Mm-hmm.
And they got her. The US government is that's their apology. Sorry what happened. Here's Stella.
Mm.
And then Hulu TV,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to have my granddaughter staying with them,
Mm.
Peter Brennan and Lisa Brennan, in the middle of guardianship, a high profile case, an active case. My granddaughter is in California as if the court didn't know. Oh, we don't know
Mhm.
who she is, you know.
Oh, it's sad.
And then it turns out regarding that item, Teresa Seco
Mhm.
from Loyola Law School, Chicago, Loyola University. She
Mm.
what was I gonna say? She darn, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, no. That happens to me too. And then we remember it 3 in the morning, you know?
But that woman, just Teresa Seco, the guardian ad litem from hell.
Mhm. Oh,
From
there's
hell.
yeah. I
Teresa Seco.
I call them the third party parasites.
Yes, I call them parasites too.
Yeah.
Loyola Law School director in Chicago, Teresa Seco. You
Gee.
know, it's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm
But
so
I have to remember that I have to remember my focus.
Mhm.
Because while all this is happening with going to court and they keep continuing the case, continuing it, it's
Mhm.
like my granddaughter is still suffering
Mhm. Mhm.
and she's my priority.
Oh.
But now I have to take care of me. So I
Yeah.
have to go through the motions, even when life isn't being fair.
Mhm.
But I need to focus. I need to focus on my granddaughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So
Well, I'm glad you popped on, you know. How can people reach you if they have any questions?
how can they reach me? Grandma Kia on TikTok.
I'll put that in.
Kia 8716. Grandma Kia 8716. I'm on TikTok.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's only Grandma Kia though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Um, as far as police brutality goes, keep your cameras rolling. If you're black, black, brown, disadvantaged in any way,
Mhm.
okay? Keep your cameras rolling.
Mhm. Mm.
If your driver's license says you're a donor, get rid of that. You do not
Yeah.
want to be a donor, okay? They
Right.
are unaliving us at an alarming rate.
You know, I heard that, I would say 30 years ago
You heard what?
about, my mother told me, she said, "Don't put that you're a donor on your license because they won't work as hard on you to have you survive."
That's true.
And that was she told me that 30 years ago.
Oh yeah, and Winnebago, because I'm in Rockford, Illinois, Winnebago County, they dry stun gun you. So the strings don't come out. They just dry tase you. They tase you, and they're killing us at an alarming rate. Right
Mhm.
here in Winnebago, right here in Rockford, Illinois. It's everywhere.
Mhm.
I can't believe to the how just how bad racism is
Mhm.
Rockford. So do not put that on your driver's license. I guess it doesn't matter if you're brown or you're whatever color you are. Take it off.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, I'm glad you popped on. Don't jump off. Slam the Gavel is a podcast to help the public understand what really goes on in these courtrooms. I'm your host, Maryann Petri, and you can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google, and other platforms. Again, feel free to buy me a coffee to help keep this podcast going. I thank you, Grandma Kia, for coming on today and giving us updates. Thank you so much.
Thank you.